Hello, this is Eric from Jarhead Paracord. What I'm going to show you today is some of the steps that I use in making my Paracord motorcycle get back whips. You can see that I have a monkey's fist, a 4 into an 8 strand into a diamond knot with a 4 strand into an 8 strand and into the panic snap. I think it makes for a nice handle. It gives a neat appearance, and I'm just going to show you some of the steps and how I do that. What you're going to need, obviously, paracord, a ball bearing for the monkey's fist, and a panic snap. Now these panic snaps can be picked up at any saddlery or horse tack shop. So from there, what you're first going to do is make your monkey's fist. After you complete the monkey's fist, I'll show you how to place the lower half and then the second strand in the upper half, followed by how to transition from the 4 to the 8 strand knots. Feel free to leave any comments or ask me any questions, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so what I've got here is just a loose monkey fist, and I've pulled out some of the initial slack, but the reason that you don't want to have this tightened up is you're going to have to feed some additional pieces in there. Now the paracord on one strand covers quite a bit of cordage through here, and you're just going to have to play with it to determine what you need to do to make those pieces even. But you do have separate strands that come out the bottom, and the easiest thing to do is just take some form of a needle or a stick, feed that through. Yep. And then position it, flip it over to the other side, and do the same thing. And now you've got 4 strands that extend from the bottom of the monkey's fist. You've got the 2 strands that come out the top, and that's done in a similar process, except you'll notice that they're on the diagonal. And to do that process, you push it across this way, and then feed it underneath. And then as you pull tight and adjust it, you'll be able to get that through. From this point, once your top and your bottom pieces are fed through, you finish tightening up the monkey's fist until you get one that looks like this. Alright, so starting at the bottom, I just work through the crown, 4 strand crown or square crown sinnet. And the biggest thing to do here is just trying to make sure that you're even and centered in the ball. You complete that same sequence until you get to the point that you want to move from a 4 to an 8 strand. All right, to go from the 4 to the 8 strand crowned, you're just going to cut a piece to the same length and feed in one horizontally, one vertically, so that you end up with 8 strands instead of the initial 4. Now when you tighten it, obviously you only want to tighten the outside strands, as the other ones will just simply pull. But to get these positioned right, you just level them out or even them out. Make sure that everything's tight. And then as you're doing the square crown knot, you're just folding over the 2 strands instead of the 1. Now that same process will be used to transition at the handle. So my handle is roughly somewhere between 8 and 10 inches long before it goes into the bottom of the panic snap. So from there, you'll do that to lock. The second time around, locks it in. And you'll notice that you started out at a 4, it widens, changes to an 8, and then you simply finish it off with a knot that brings it all out the bottom, and then trim the length. So from here you come across, do the same thing from the top, and keep in mind that as this piece is somewhere between 32 and about 40 inches is the longest I've ever made one. That is a lot of stacking, and the one thing that you may need to make sure is that it's a tight, that you pull that tight, that it's a tight knot, or it'll definitely loosen up and not give you desirable results. All right, hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But that's the basic of how you get started, and we'll go from there. Enjoy.